Hello, my audience is just off camera. They're gonna be right there. It's the same ones from last time.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm gonna start now. Have any of you noticed the price of everything has only gone higher and higher, but you get less? Have you looked at the stores around? Have you looked inside the stores and looked around and seen the prices of everything gone up over the years? Have any of you ever wondered to yourself when you can buy your own house or your own place? If so, this is the video just for you to confirm your own curious questions because it not only affects you, but everyone listening and watching this right now. I have been noticing this trend ever since I was a child, and watching the prices of everything slowly rise up or sharply rise up. So, I did my research, and I wanted to confirm it's not only me seeing it, but everyone else. So I wanted to look more into that. Such as the cost of living in the United States of America has only skyrocketed in the past decade, while there are bills and propositions up to try to mend them, so to speak, try to calm the tide of it. One of those issues being housing and renting prices have skyrocketed in the recent decades. In some states, it's way more prevalent than others. Housing prices are the one that's the main statistic that has risen. California is by far one of the most expensive states to live in nowadays. According to a 2015 analyst report from Zillow, it says that Americans are renting more than twice as long before buying their first homes as they did in the 1970s. First-time homebuyers are older and less likely to be married before they buy their house as they were in the past. Americans are buying increasingly expensive first homes and spending more relative to their income than they did in the past 40 years, as well as first-time home buyers bought homes that cost around 1.7 times their annual income in the 1970s compared to now, which now they have to buy homes that are 2.6 times over their annual income, which means it's really harder. And this was the 2015. I have no idea how much worse it's gone now. But according to legislative analyst office, California home prices are by far exceeding the rest of the country. Here in detailed in this graph. This being the mid-tier California home, bottom tier California home, and the average mid-tier U.S. home price, rising price from the year 2000 to 2025. Monthly payments for a typical California home are over $5,500, detailed in this graph right here. Same statistic as the one previous. Same look even. But if you are not convinced by those, this falls into my other point. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, it revealed in cost changes to our everyday lives that we still feel today. Two unfortunate results from it would be shrinkflation as well as rising food prices. Shrinkflation, in layman terms, is when you buy a product or a good and you notice the quality of it gets worse and worse or less and less as you buy it over and over again throughout a time period. But they still charge you the same price, or they charge you even increased rate and price for said product. This was a issue and a topic of discussion during, after, and even now, long after the pandemic, because it was so prevalent and affected everyone. According to Congress.gov, Robert P. Cassidy of Pennsylvania proposed a Shrinkflation Prevention Act of 2014 that is a fairly detailed bill to specifically to prevent distribution companies or of those selling of goods to prevent them from cutting corners and spiking prices at the expense of the consumer's shrinking wallet. And I want to get my full bag of Cheetos here and there, you know. Anywho, according to the USDA, from 2019 to 2023, the overall consumer food price index has increased 25% in all categories, but is the second highest category of major categories such as housing, apparel, medical, and so forth, spurred by the worldly events and other factors that directly affect all aspects of food and distribution. Here being food right there. I wonder what kind of event that will cause. That will cause all that. Anyways, now I know some of you are still having doubts about this, and even with everything mentioned above. But this leads to another startling trend that I've noticed and taken note of. This is nothing new, but it's one that has only been increasingly and put forward into light due to other worldly events. More and more younger adults are still living with their parents. According to the Pew Research in 2020, about 52% of young adults live with their one or both parents, aged 18 to 24. So, it is also an increase from 2019, which was only 47%. Well, I possibly can't relate to that at all. This is nothing new, but due to many various factors and standards of living, it is increasingly hard to live by yourself, let alone get your own house or place. Even if you do everything right and what is expected of you as a person. So in conclusion, the cost of living in the United States has only skyrocketed in the past decade, but there are bills and propositions pushed forward to try to mend them. Housing prices and rental prices have risen out of proportion. Food prices and shrinkflation has gripped the public, and more younger adults are still living with their parents. This affects you, your family, and everyone that lives in the United States of America. I know most of you have seen the signs. More friends or people are living with family members to save up or to just survive. People are checking out from the stores with less and less stuff in their carts, but the rising bill of that grocery list is going higher. And feeling as if you are not doing enough or you are not enough. But don't need to worry, because there's going to be a brighter side at the end of this money-hungry tunnel. Things will get better, where everyone will be thriving instead of just surviving at this point. So call me an optimist, but that's what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm hoping for everyone. This is my informative speech. Sorry it's a little bit longer. I'm Alexander Greensteiner. Bye-bye!